What secret is so dark that you can't even tell your spouse? My wife thinks she was my first and only girlfriend. My ex and I were together for a little over a year before we had to part ways for multiple reasons. She was 4 years older than me and belonged to a very orthodox Muslim family while I belonged to a very traditional Hindu family. Our religious beliefs, culture, language, food, traditions, and lifestyle were as far apart as ice and fire. I cannot describe our relationship in words. It was something heavenly, totally divine. We started as friends at work, came close, and slowly fell in love. We both knew that our relationship won't be approved by our parents or society and that we are going down a dangerous path. In her words, we were playing with fire. We used to share everything, and I remember how she filled up the void that I had in my life before meeting her. Her presence used to make me feel stronger and weaker, both at the same time. I used to feel like the luckiest person alive to have a girl like her in love with me, but I also knew that I am not lucky enough to have her forever. We both had a realization that we were not going to end up together and often talked about it. But, somehow this fact never came between us or affected the passion that we had for each other. We did try to take a break, stop talking, etc., but nothing worked. The more we tried to get away from each other, the more passionate it got. We always came back stronger than ever before. I remember her eyes, the way she used to look at me. It used to make me cry. I don't think anyone can ever love me like she did. Sometimes, we used to just look into each other's eyes for hours without saying anything. Her eyes were enough to convey her care and love for me, along with the grief that we were going to lose each other one day. In the end, the inevitable happened. Nothing ever hit you as hard as reality. She had to arrange to marry some guy her family picked for her. Our last few days before her wedding were too painful. None of us wanted to let go of the other, but we still did. She didn't dare to tell anything to her parents, and neither did I. All we could have done was elope and got married, but our lives would have never been the same again. Probably, that was the best option, or maybe not, but we would never know that now. In the end, I had to let her go. I had plans to show up at her parents' house and talk to them and beg for my love, but nothing was going to change the fact that we belonged to two different worlds. Knowing her family, she advised me against it, and I didn't have any power to say no to her. I am now just left with lots of should-haves and what-ifs. It was a painful breakup, if we call it that, but we talked and talked about it and quit trying, hoping for a miracle. We cried for days together and in the end, said goodbye to each other. We promised to remain friends and never forget each other. We also decided to never talk about our relationship with our spouses and common friends. We also promised to always share our contact number with each other till the end of life. In short, we were giving away the most precious gift life had given us in return for a long list of promises. I think I haven't broken any of them so far. She forced me to swear that I will not remain single forever, as that was my most prominent thought at that time. We kept going till the day before her wedding, and everything changed in one night. The next day, she belonged to someone else and I was all alone. I couldn't sleep for nights after that, didn't meet a lot of people, and vented out my energy at work, gym, and video games. Perhaps, that was the lowest phase of my life. I never saw her after that. The fact that she moved to a different country helped me a lot. We did speak a few times in the first year of her marriage, but purely as friends. Sometimes, an awkward moment of silence did speak 1,000 unspoken words. But I guess we both were good at pretending. Gradually, I felt that she had moved on. I still tried to occasionally reach out and ask about her well-being, but it was probably after her second child when I realized that she is not coming back and thought about moving on. Fast forward to today, I am married to another person whom I love. Still in touch with my ex that no one knows about. I want to talk about her, but I don't have anyone with whom I can share my pain. I sometimes tell strangers about her. I never mentioned anything to her after she got married. We do have each other's number, but our communication is restricted to a birthday text that too not every year. I have been in the same country as her for a few years now, but have never tried to see her. She knows and she didn't either. I don't know how I will feel to see her in person. I don't even know if she still remembers the 1 year we spent together. It was her birthday when I texted her last, and it turned into a conversation and a plan to meet. I couldn't resist asking to meet, and she didn't say no. My wife doesn't have any clue either and just knows that we are going for dinner with